Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs postgame show presented by PointsBet. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. Luke Stuckmeyer, Cody Delmendo, Ryan Herrera, and the longest winning streak in the National League comes to an end. It had to happen sometimes, guys. An epic run in Cubs history. 3 games in a row they won, and now they lose 4-3 to the Reds in what was a complete snooze fest until the last inning. The first inning was fun, the last inning was fun, and all the stuff in between was nap material.
Yeah, I'm surprised you actually didn't fall asleep.
I am
We're
fairly
still
surprised too. It's never happened, but it could.
Yeah. When it does happen, the internet will know because I'm going to get the best Luke Stuckmeyer sleeping on the couch at the CHGO office.
Yeah, and I'm a mouth breather too, so you'll get a good shot. Yeah.
You'll hear it before you see it.
You'll see it. No, I mean, really, this game, they score 2 runs in the first inning, then they get 2 hits for the next 7 innings. And the 9th inning is only interesting because Joey Votto decides to bat flip on a walk up 2 runs in a game that probably ultimately will mean nothing to either team.
Yeah. I honestly, I tweeted, someone explain the last 10 minutes to me, and like I'm 5 years old, because I don't get why Rowan Wick was bothered by Joey Votto walking to first.
I know.
And and then you saw Votto at first base say I didn't say anything.
Right.
Bluntly say it, like Marquis' broadcast was literally, you could read his lips. So I don't know what was bothering Rowan Wick. So, whatever.
And usually Joey Votto's one of the cooler guys in Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
that's his reputation, is he's supposed to be a great guy, funny, yada, yada. He did put a little extra into a bat flip on a meaningless walk.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's something else outside of that, because you could tell David Ross was saying, pay attention to the game. Was there more to that than just the bat flip?
Right.
That set off Wick, because and then they clearly plunked Patrick Wisdom.
Yeah, the leg would get hurt. But going back to the Joey Votto Wick thing, I tweeted out, save the beef. If the Reds were there on Monday for WWE Day, that'd be great. Battle it out in the Hell in a Cell, Battle for Canada.
Yeah.
That sells itself for the pay-per-view.
Are we for sure that they hit Wisdom on purpose? Up to, it's the 9th inning. You're the Reds, and I know they don't care about wins or losses, but still,
I don't know.
The pitcher has some history of being involved in stuff like that. Go back to Bryce Harper, he had a beef with. Okay. So I guess that doesn't necessarily mean he's doing it. It's a dumb place to do it if you are. I mean, look,
right.
If it was on purpose, it almost cost him the game.
Yeah.
Because Contreras hits that ball, you're down a run. I mean, it goes one more foot, you're down a run.
In any other year.
Yeah.
But they probably don't.
I don't know if they did it on purpose. It was, like Cody said, it's a weird... It's a bad situation to do it on purpose.
Yeah,
regardless if you're tanking
it would be
or whatever.
really stupid if it was.
I don't even know.
Stupid situation.
The situation is so weird that I don't even know if I should be a Cubs homer and be like, "Fuck Joey Votto," but I don't want to because I respect the guy so much.
Right.
And I don't know if I should just be like, "What the hell are you thinking, Rowan Wick? Why are you starting this? You got out of the inning though. You didn't give up a run, so it is what it is." I thought it was all thrown under the rug. Then we get to the 9th inning. You get one out. Then Wisdom comes up. You hit him, and then you almost blow the game because you hit him. Ross gets ejected. It was an elite. He get an elite ejection in terms of he got his money. I respect him so much more now because of how he got ejected. And that's the best summary I can give you of how that situation happened. I don't know who to blame.
Nearn on the chat's not buying what the Reds are selling. He says Strickland loves hitting people. He's a meathead. Baseball players are meatheady.
Yeah, that's fair.
Meatheady.
Hey, yeah. I mean, I just think that, again, I know the Reds don't care if they win or lose, I guess, at this point, but shit, when you actually have a chance to win the game, you think you just win the game. I mean, the Reds did everything better than the Cubs tonight. I don't know. I don't know.
Phil says absolutely on purpose. The slow-mo angle clearly showed no movement on that ball. He just went, first of all, if that's where you're going to throw at somebody, that's dangerous. You could have broke the guy's forearm, his wrist, any of it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm sort of surprised, and also the reaction of the umpire lets you know that there's at least some tension there, right? Because he steps out right away and is like, whoa, 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 instead of just go ahead, go down to first. And Wisdom didn't really like take a step towards the mound.
Yeah.
He just kind of slowly.
He gave him like the nod on the way down to first.
Yeah.
Was like, okay, like I see you, basically. Like this is the kind of person you are.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a weird. If it's in fact on purpose, it's a very stupid place to do it. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I don't.
For sure.
They will never admit that they did it on purpose.
Right.
Just like Keegan Thompson didn't admit that he hit Andrew McCutcheon on purpose, even though we all think differently.
For sure. And that's why he should be the mayor of
But
Chicago.
there are
So
there are dumb meatheady players that go ahead and do things that don't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Right.
Nick G asked about Wilson. He said, waiting for the Wooded Dong report. I'm with you, Nick G. I've been refreshing Twitter. I don't know that it would have donged. But as soon as I get the information, I will pass
Can you
it
explain that to people that might not know? Like, I think most of our chat knows,
to Wick.
and I know now.
The account.
So okay, the account on Twitter, it's called Wooded Dong. Basically, it just takes like Statcast data and ballpark metrics and stuff, and it's like this ball based on its launch angle and exit velocity and whatever would it have been a home run in any other ballpark besides whatever ballpark it was hit in or it wasn't hit in. And it just gives you that data. Like, oh, say I have no idea what the Statcast metrics are for Wilson's thing, but say, oh, it didn't go out in Great American Ballpark, but it would have been a home run in 5 other ballparks. Wooded Dong would tell me this would have donged in 5 ballparks, and I think that's the best way to characterize.
It's a great idea. Like whoever came up with it, it's a great idea.
It's an automated
Twitter
bot
account.
too, but I don't have it. But just the donging, the Wooded Dong, I like that. I think we should keep that and make it like standard MLB vocabulary. Would it have donged? It would not have donged.
Would it tater? You don't like tater?
No,
I prefer tater.
You've said dong way too much.
Hand up. I thought you said wooded dong at first.
Wooded.
Instead of would it. Like
Yeah.
wooded. WOOD.
Wooded Dong. Yeah, there you go. Oh, okay. I get what you're saying now.
Is that your preferred term for home run, dong?
Now it is.
Now it is.
Whenever
Mine is
Brendan
always
Davis gets called up, we're going to be talking about Davis dongs.
Davis dongs. I've always been a tater guy.
Well, you're an old soul.
Tater, yeah. My home run call for highlights used to be that tater's mashed. If it was really,
Taters mashed.
yeah, that tater's mashed.
That's brutal.
Mashed
Okay.
taters. See, that got me a job from Michigan to Nebraska.
Well, I gotta
You
think
can
of a
see
way.
how well that worked for me.
I gotta think of a way to incorporate dong into something like that. Phrase like that. Ding or donged. I don't know.
Ding or dong.
Move on.
Yeah. So the winning streak's over.
The longest in the National League.
First of all, you get the 2 runs, and Happ gets them off to the nice start. And Kyle Hendricks, who we were hoping would have a better start, having just given up 4 home runs in the windblown game at Wrigley Field, just the second time in his career he'd given up 4 home runs in a game. They spot him the 2-run lead, and he gives up, 4 runs in the next 3 innings, right? By the 3rd inning, they were already up 4-2. Like, he gave it right back, and then there was just nothing happening the rest of the night. But, like, Hendricks, I don't get on Kyle Hendricks very often. He's got to be better.
Yeah, it just wasn't. He wasn't getting the whiffs. He threw a lot of sinkers today. 25 of his 68 pitches were sinkers. Went to the 4-seam a lot too. Actually, changeup has been one of his better pitches this season. He went to it the 3rd most of his 4. 2 whiffs on 31 swings, which obviously isn't a lot. And then just looking at the illustrator, the pitch chart, his fastball kind of 4-seam sinker, doesn't show a whole lot of command there. And so if that's the case, then he'll be the first one to say, like, because we talk about it every time we talk about Kyle Hendricks. Is his big thing is to locate. That's how he wants to start, is to locate the fastball down and away, because that's what allows everything else to play off it. And just based on the pitch chart, that fastball is all over the zone, all over outside of the zone. Just did not look like he was commanding it down and away like he would like, and like you have seen in some of his best starts of the season. And so I think just looking at that, when he's not commanding the fastball, again, he's not able to play the rest of the pitches off of that, which you can see in the fact that he only had 1 whiff on his changeup. He had no whiffs on 6 curve. He didn't have a swing on 6 curveballs. And he kind of relied on the sinker force seam. So that tells me he would, maybe a little more of trying to get that in the zone or trying to get that low down and away, which just based on the pitch chart itself, didn't look like he was doing it very much. And you kind of can see just on the box scores, he struggled today. 4 runs and 4 and 5. Is that what we?
No, he went 4 innings.
4 and 4.
Yeah, Daniel Norris came in and increased his trade value tonight in the 5th. Kyle Hendricks, he had the 2 hardest hit, or he gave up the 2 hardest hit baseballs tonight. Brandon Drury, 108 miles an hour exit velocity on a ground out, and a home run given up when Joey Votto at 107.
That was crushed.
But also, he just they hit him all across the diamond. Is what it is, man. I don't understand. Also, those exit velocities. A reminder again, I am an analytics guy since last Tuesday.
Cody Delmetrics.
Delmetrics. Change your Twitter name to that.
Yeah, right. Anyway, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about Kyle Hendricks. All I know is that we sit here, me, Luke, Ryan, whenever we're on the road, and we'll sit here, look at the chat, and everyone's like, we got to trade Contreras, we got to trade Stroman, we got to trade Kyle Hendricks. And I'm like, how can you look at Kyle Hendricks right now and expect to get any kind of value for him? The way that he's pitching, he's had good starts. Like we gave him all the credit in the world when he had that great start in San Diego, and then he was definitely not as great in Arizona, but he came 1 out away from a quality start, and since then it's back to what we saw in April.
Jack says, "I need Brendan to let me know everything's going to be okay with Hendo." We haven't seen Brendan jump on yet, but the pitch doctor did put some stats and stuff out. He said the whiff rate is among his best in his career. Sinker usage down by 33% this year. And he was talking about how like some of the numbers for Hendricks don't make sense this year. Our buddy Jake Bonowski, who was on the podcast with us, said his hit rate is 10% higher than his career average. There's some stuff that's odd about it. But really, it all comes down, like Ryan was saying, it always comes down to command with Kyle Hendricks.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the velocity and the movement on pitches necessarily to not have his best stuff every night. Like he doesn't have that room for error like other guys do. So he can still be really, really good. In fact, he can be dominant at times, but when he doesn't have his command, it's almost like he's just another pitcher out.
Well, usually whenever we talk about his command, he has maybe 2 or 3 walks. He only walked one person tonight. For me tonight, he just gave up a lot of hard contact. Home run that Votto hit, when you look at the location of it on the little square they have on the broadcast, it was out of the zone at the bottom of the zone, but at 89, and I mean, that's who he is. Joey Votto's a Hall of Famer. Let's be real. So I don't know how much you put into, is that Hendricks being bad or is that just Joey Votto being Joey Votto? You know what I mean?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both. But again, you look at the exit velocities for the Reds tonight, especially in that, what was it, the third inning? I tweeted them out from the CHGO Cubs account. You should go follow it on Twitter if you don't. They're more than half of the exit velocities that inning were over 100 miles per hour. So he was just giving up a ton of hard contact. So when you talk about command, in this game at least, for me, it's more of just he just wasn't locating even his pitches that he wasn't locating strikes in the right spot.
Right.
And
yeah.
so, instead of walking guys, he was just, serving up meatballs.
Leaving it over the plate a little too, catching too much of the plate. Nick on there says blame the dead balls, that should have been a home run, or blame it on the movement for Hendricks. All I know is if it was back to a live ball, the home run by Joey Votto would have gone through the bleachers and into the river.
Yeah.
It was a laser off the bat. So, yeah, you win some, you lose some. I would agree that when Contreras hit the ball, I thought it was a home run.
And we were all, cheering for it in a big way, especially how that inning was going with how, them hitting wisdom and everything.
I think I was just cheering for the possibility that Frank Schwindel could be sent back there to catch because P.J. Higgins was out. No more healthy catchers, and who knew if they wanted to put Wilson
Right.
to
Into
catch.
the game.
So I'm like, there's a chance Frank Schnedel's catching. He's the emergency catcher. There's a chance. I don't know that it would have happened, but that would have been interesting to see that decision.
Yeah.
And Morel still had a chance to win the game too.
Yeah.
Or at least I shouldn't say win the game. Take
Tie
the
it.
lead, be a superhero again, and we thought, well, this is just as good. First, it would have been great if Contreras hit one because it was either if they hit Contreras, there's going to be a brawl.
Yeah.
If he hits a home run, the bat flip's going to go over the dugout.
Yeah.
Morel was good tonight. I've said the moment's never too big for him. It looked like he was a little maybe over anxious.
You saw him breathing. You saw him trying.
Yeah, he was trying to calm down, but clearly he was like amped up to try and have that opportunity again.
Yeah, it was a big moment.
But earlier in the game, 9-pitch walk. Earlier in the game, 7-pitch double.
Yeah.
Like, again, he's getting on base. Is it just one game he hasn't reached base? Is that
I
correct?
think it's every game he's been on base. I'm pretty sure.
Been on base in every
I'll look.
game?
I'll
I
take a
think
look.
so. I feel like he's been on base.
Been on
every
base
game.
in every game, but
There's one game where he didn't play at all.
Yeah, he's been on base every single game.
Wow.
The only time he didn't get a hit was May 19th, and he walked.
okay.
So,
So,
yeah.
he has
Every game he's played, he's got on base.
and he has a hit in all but one.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's what I was. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's looked great, and defensively he's looked great.
7 hits and 3 walks.
Yep. And and we're gonna keep coming back to it. Just the defensive versatility that he brings. That's the reason why they brought him up from Double A because he could play 6, 7 different positions. And then we're gonna talk about this once guys start getting healthy and you guys start making roster decisions. But obviously he came up out of necessity, but he has not only been very good at the plate. But and then we were talking about how many pitches he's taking
Right.
above the major league average pitches per plate appearance. So he's the plate discipline's there. He's fouling off good pitches. He's laying. We were even he's laying off some really close pitches. Like good for him, right? But outside of just the bat, just defensively, he's playing all over the field. He's letting David Ross plug positions that a guy needs a day off or a guy's feeling a little. He's feeling something and needs someone to play in his stead, right? So that's if you lose that just due to roster crunch and options and stuff like that, it does suck because he's a guy that's been up here. He's done really well, and you kind of obviously want to see if you can keep that up.
I also think it's a big deal that the last 2 nights now he's been batting leadoff, and and as we've seen the Cubs with guys like Nico starting basically the entire year down in the 9 hole, or we saw him move up to the 6 hole as he started really coming into his own. Like the fact that David Ross is just like throwing this guy into the fire again, going back to last night, man. Like he keeps. It doesn't have to get hits, but if he's just finding a way to get on base, like that's a good sign because. Again, exploring Luke.
Yes.
He's someone that I don't know if he's going to be part of the next Cubs team, but man, like he has been fun to watch in all aspects of the game. He really has.
Yeah.
Exploring and experimenting, and they're doing it both with him. They're moving him around. They're trying to explore whether or not he's ready for the majors. 22. So far, it looks like he's ready for the major leagues. And they call up Nico Hoerner today. And because of the Gomes injury, you don't have to even worry about Morel going down in this case. And by the way, that's another good sign coming out of this game was Nico coming on for the pinch hit. I was surprised once he was brought up that he wasn't in the lineup, but they were trying to go slow. They put him in that position. He hasn't seen pitching at a major league level in a little while, and he's able to, in a high leverage situation, just kind of flick it the other way and the right.
Of course, that one dropped.
That one drops. What was it? 80 miles an hour?
70.
70 miles an hour.
Yeah, but did it have an 870 expected batting average? So it was like perfectly placed
Yeah,
ball,
well,
but also a ball.
Contreras was like
he went the
660
other
or
way.
something.
I just like what Nico's done all season.
Yeah,
For
no,
sure.
Just like Morel, I
680.
like what I've seen from Nico.
and that's
all
a
season.
ball. I mean, that's the kind of hit you kind of expect from Nico. Just
Right.
put the ball in play, like see if it could drop. He's not gonna. He's done it a couple times, but he's not going to hit a home run in that situation very often. He's not going to. drive the ball deep into the gap as often as you would like, or as often as some other guys will. But he's going to put the bat on the ball more often than not, and more often than not, it's going to find a spot on. Okay, I won't say more often than not, but if you put the bat on the ball like he does more often than not. There you go. Then there's going to be times like today where that ball finds the outfield grass. That ball finds its way down the line. That ball finds just its way up the middle, something like that. But just put the ball in play and good things have happened. Can happen. That's what I've been saying all season. Nico did that because we know he's a good contact hitter. And that ball, perfectly placed and got, got a run in and nearly tied up the game.
Yeah. Is Nico ever a guy you want to see batting leadoff, or for now, would you ride with Morel just because he's been so patient and poised and playing well, and he's done pretty well there the last couple of games?
I always said that I liked Nico either 5 or 6 or batting second, and it would depend on the lineup that day because we've talked about, or people have talked about for years, especially as we've gotten more analytical in this game, that usually the best hitter in your lineup is batting second now, and. Yeah. So
which in a perfect world isn't Nico.
Right, exactly. He's not. But he's still like the type of hitter he is and the type of lineup that the Cubs have. He's a guy that I wouldn't mind seeing batting second. But with the type of lineup the Cubs have and the type of hitter that he is, I would rather see him batting 5th or 6th more often than not. Things could change, though, come the deadline. But for right now, with what this team has right now, I'd rather have him more so in the middle of the lineup, have him in some decent RBI chances. Because, again, we just watched, he put the ball in play in a crucial moment. And with him out, that's some of the things we have seen hurt the Cubs. I ranted about Patrick Wisdom that one day. I've ranted a little bit about Ortega in a recent game, too, and who struck out in a major moment to try and score and either tie or take the lead. And we've had nothing but good things to say about Nico all season. So I like him down more so in the middle of that lineup, 5th or 6th.
Yeah, and again, I just said it, but in a perfect contending team, this team will go to the World Series. Nico Hoerner's not going to be your number 2 because if we go off the assumption that that's where the Mike Trouts of the world hit,
right.
Nico Hoerner's not going to be your best hitter on a championship contending team, but he is going to be a guy where we talk about that. I saw Tony La Russa, and sometimes you can take what he says with a grain of salt, but he kind of said that I think it was with Vaughn the other day of the 9th hitter is kind of like a second leadoff hitter, and some people can disagree, some people will agree with that, but just it is nice to have a lineup that good where a Nico Hoerner can slot in down at the bottom of the lineup, and then when you go through that second rotation, you got another bat that you can put out there along with your leadoff hitter that can both put the bat on the ball and try to get on base.
I think that Nico Hoerner could be a solid leadoff hitter in a lineup like the White Sox. If you wanted me to pick, if you wanted me to talk myself into believing he could be a leadoff hitter, he's very similar to Tim Anderson in terms of just putting the contact out there. He doesn't hit home runs like Tim Anderson, but he does make contact and he does hit the ball at all fields. And again, I'm not saying Nico Hoerner is going to develop into Tim Anderson, even though I think by F4, Nico Hoerner is right up there with Tim Anderson this year.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Are you
I know
offering a
Steven is sitting over there. He's shaking his head. I'm just saying. Stats don't lie.
Save it
Are you
for
offering-
Crosstown. Save it for Crosstown.
I think Cody's offering a 1-for-1 trade for Nico for Tim.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's better. I'm just saying he's playing just as well as Tim Anderson has this year, minus the home
No,
runs.
he hasn't. Come on. No, he
Steven's
hasn't.
He
pissed.
was. Go
I'm a
look at the
Cubs-
numbers.
no.
Go
No.
Steven's
look
pissed.
at the
Wait,
numbers.
what was your number
In
again?
terms of advanced analytics,
Steven's-
not saying that he's better. I'm just saying he has been
Tim
playing
Anderson's an
just
MVP
as well.
candidate this year.
Say that
Yeah.
again.
Tim Anderson's an MVP candidate this year. Nico's not.
Wait, so what?
Tim Anderson's not an MVP.
What was
candidate.
the?
Oh,
What
he
was
is.
that? Hold on, I gotta
Yeah,
look
he
at
is.
this. Hold
I
on.
just know that Steven's face just got so red that I thought potentially his head might pop off his shoulders
I
from
haven't.
the
Okay,
couch.
admittedly,
across
I
the-
haven't seen Tim Anderson's numbers this year, or not this year, but recently.
He's been
But
very good.
I
You've
do
also-
know
Jack
before
says I would not trade Nico.
I
for
do
Tim
know
Anderson.
that
man.
before the stupid umpire ran into Nico Hoerner, he was he was playing just as well as any shortstop in the National League.
Oh, I'm with you. Nico's my favorite.
I'm not
player.
saying he's better than Tim Anderson. I'm not saying that he's an MVP candidate. I'm not saying that.
Tim
So
Anderson is
don't
dusting
twist
him.
my words.
Sam,
but
look
I
at
am
the
saying
numbers
I
for
am
this
saying
season.
that
Tim
he
Anderson
has
is
been
dusting
playing.
him in F4, by the way.
He's
Dusting
what?
him?
Dusting him.
Well, yeah,
Tim
because
Anderson-
Hoerner's been out for 3
But
weeks.
Tim Anderson has the highest F4 among all shortstop in the majors.
You go look back at what it was at the
What was
beginning
it,
of
May
May.
9th?
May 9th. Go
May
look at
9th.
it back
Look it up.
then.
May 9th,
May 10th,
Steven.
I think. May 10th, I think. We said it was the second day of that San Diego series?
Yeah.
We'll say May 10th. All right.
It was close. I'm not sure if it was above it. What's 1 or 2 points? I don't care. Again, I'm not saying he's better, but he was playing very, very, very well.
He was playing well. It was 1.3 F4.
Jack wouldn't trade Nico for Tim Anderson. Come on.
I would trade Nico for Tim Anderson.
It was
I
one,
would.
It was 1.3
Throwing
WAR
Kyle
to
Hendricks.
0.8 WAR. By the way.
1.3 and 0.8. Okay, that's not that far off.
That's a decent chunk.
I like Kyle Hendricks.
That's a decent chunk, especially this early in the season. Like that's a pretty big game.
All right. At one time, it was close.
Okay,
I
so
think it's early.
It was
in the
closer.
season.
back
Whatever,
to
man.
where he bats in the order.
You're talking to the guy who didn't look at the stats.
Yeah, you've
I-
only been analytics since what?
I've
8
been
days?
only been analytics guy since last Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cody
8 days.
Delmetrics
I'm giving you a
didn't
break.
exist like about a month ago. So
Steven is going to tell the Sox guys that I said that Nico Hoerner is better than Tim Anderson.
he's texting him right
He's
now.
texting
Yeah,
him,
here's
and
him.
they're gonna lay
That's
into
not
me,
what you said,
even though
though.
I didn't say
It is
that.
kind of what he said. Like half.
He didn't. It not kind of though. Like
He was.
he didn't say that. He did not say Nico is better than Tim Anderson.
I did not.
you didn't.
I literally just sat here and said I would trade him for Tim Anderson.
Stan says this combo has devolved, and I agree.
It has. Now it started with we were talking about where you would bat guys in a lineup, and really it was would you leave Morel at the top of the order? And as Ryan was pointing out, on a perfect team. So in reality, when you're looking at this lineup that we're talking about, yeah, you can forget this entire conversation in 3 years. Like it's not relevant. That's because 3/4 of the guys in the roster right now probably won't be on the roster. So yeah, it's not going to look like that. But for this team, for this season, if you're trying to win some games, I think it was Jack said Morel, Nico, and then Wilson, which is interesting because Seiya is the guy that we've said all along was like, oh, Seiya's got to be 2 or 3. Seiya's got to be 2 or 3. And all of a sudden, Seiya has cooled off, and he hasn't had a multi-hit game in almost exactly a month.
Almost a month. Yeah.
So he's had some hits, but, it goes back to the point of the whole sample size thing that we talk about. We get excited about Morel. It's, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You get excited about Nico. Again, it's not even half a season yet. All are good signs. Keegan Thompson is a great sign. Steele, great sign. Seiya's start was a great sign. You can't put all of your eggs into any of those baskets just yet because even one season at the major league level doesn't prove that that's going to be repeated the next season. Sometimes it takes at least 2 years of doing something before I'd be convinced that's the answer. Now, don't get me wrong. You saw Chris Bryant come up as a rookie, who puts together a season. You're like, okay, well, he's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, we actually thought he was going to be better than he has been
Right.
after the first season. So, again, small sample size. Wait for it to kind of even out after 2, maybe
Chris
3
Bryant
seasons.
was a little different. Like Chris Bryant, when he came up, he didn't hit his first home run and for what, like the first month.
Right.
Was it 25
But he still
games
put up
into that?
like really, like his slash line was still really nice, and he still like gave you really good at bats. And like that's kind of the difference between him and Seiya right now. Like Seiya he walked tonight. I think he walked tonight, right? Yeah.
Yes,
And,
he did because he was my who you got. I'm pretty sure I won that one.
I don't know.
You did not win.
I just think
think so.
he's just going through the motions right now, man. Like this is what we talked about in spring training, right? Where he's adjusting to, or the league has adjusted to him. He's struggling to adjust back, but he's also had some decent games too. Like, yeah, he hasn't had a multi-hit game, but he had a 7 or 8 game hitting streak going before the last couple games.
There's a bunch of doubles mixed in there.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Like he had been hitting for extra base hits. So I don't know. Like I do know the last couple games have been kind of rough for him, and that's a little frightening because it is the Reds. But
Right.
I don't know. That's my 2 cents. It's like I think we just got to grind through it as fans and just hope and pray that he turns it around.
Where's your confidence level? If you had to put it at a percentage, a confidence level that he's going to be somewhere between an average player to an all-star, at least.
So all-stars 10,
He's going to be either
zero,
he's going to be at least above average or an all-star.
Like this year or just
No,
in the
like
future?
in his Cub career.
I give like an
I think
8.
I think I'd
8 out of 10.
Like an 8, 8.5. Like
Yeah, I'd
he
say
might not
8.
be a perennial all-star, but I don't think he's ever going to be. I think he'll be an above-average hitter. Just in the way we've seen him, his plate discipline and stuff like that. Like that carries over for a long time, and I think he'll learn also. Just kind of, again, we're a month and a half into his big league career, nearly 2 months, but he's still, like you said, learning how to adjust to the league. Not only pitchers, but adjusting to how umpires call him, like that kind of stuff. I think he learns. I think he kind of starts figuring that out more and more, and then with that plate discipline he already has, he kind of starts to be able to pick more spots to swing at pitches that are borderline, to be able to, not chase, which he does a lot, but keep. I'm not trying to say. I think the main part is like those borderline pitches. I think he will adjust to. Hey, these umpires are calling that a lot. Like I get my zone, but maybe I shouldn't lay off it too much. And I think you've seen that a little bit, but just overall, I don't think he becomes. I don't think he's less than an above average hitter. And obviously, he's a really good outfielder too. So I think the next Great Cubs team, he could be a starting right fielder for that team.
I'm okay with that. I think maybe unrealistically early on, many Cubs fans were like, whoa, yes, like they got the steal of the offseason. And maybe I personally was at like 90%. And I've come back down to like, well, 50-50 is good or could not be. I think I'm above could or could not be. So I would say like 67%. Like I'm not going to go as high as, because I think a lot of stuff could still happen early on. But there were very good signs. We knew there were going to be adjustments. I just want to see the bigger sample size. And if I'm saying the bigger sample size, I mean literally this year and next year probably before I would say confidently what I really believe he's going to be.
Yeah, I would think at least the full season before you're like, okay. Like
I'd be interested to see like, and this is dumb to even like compare, but I'd love to see like Shohei Ohtani's like first however many at bats that like the amount of bats that Seiya has right now. I'd love to see Shohei Ohtani's numbers like in his rookie season of what they were like. I mean, and that's unfair. Like Shohei Ohtani is, I mean,
well, the guy
insane.
the guy they always compare him to is Kosuke. Again, like another player coming from Japan, had a good start because he became an all-star, which was a longer sample size than what we've seen now. I'd be interested to see what Kosuke's numbers were versus what Seiya's numbers are, or any player that's come over from another country and just tried to jump in. He is a veteran player. He's young, but he's a guy that's played professional baseball.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if we want to go that route with Shohei Ohtani, he did have a really good rookie season, 285 batting average, 925 OPS, but then we also think about the fact we're a month and a half into the season. Like, have we even seen Seiya really start making those adjustments to the adjustments? Like, we got a long season to go. Like, we should have this conversation at least at the end of the year before we really start, like you said, start really thinking about who he is.
A good portion of what we were evaluating was him playing well, dressed up, where literally all we could see was like the top of his forehead and his chin because it was, 40 degrees and pouring rain at Wrigley Field all the time. Like, we forget the first month of the season was miserable. Well, the ball, even if it's not right this season, will fly a lot more this summer at Wrigley Field. Like that's just reality.
That's just how it goes, yeah.
So, I love this comment here from John, too, saying he's too respectful for MLB umps. He's been squeezed a lot. I know he takes a lot of strike third calls, but he's been squeezed a lot.
Well, there's that,
I agree.
Yeah. There was the one, I think the one actually walk he took was on there was a ball. There was a ball we saw that was like a curve or a slat or something that ended up.
But he's been striking out a lot on that in terms of just taking it called strike.
That's what I'm saying. We've seen that before. We even mentioned it to each other. Like he's struck out on that before, like that exact same pitch. So
he'd really benefit if we had robo umps. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying we talk about a 1, 2, 3 in the order, and it's funny how quickly we took Seiya out of 1, 2, 3 just because of some recent struggles. And again, I think by the end of the season, it's very, very possible that he's one of those guys that you want in that mix for batting second.
For sure. Yeah, and I don't know if this will help him or not, but maybe Rossi could, put him back down to 6 like he started at the beginning of the year, maybe take some pressure off. But at the same time, you look at the lineup and you're like, well, you kind of need Seiya there in the middle, to, second, third, or fourth, right? Like, so I don't know. It is what it is. I think it really is just one of those that we just have to watch play out and let him do what he does. I also don't want to put too much blame, because it's like you look at the lineup and you look at him and you see all the intangibles he brings, and then you look at everyone else, at least the large majority, and you're like, how can we like say too much whenever the lineup just like if him, Ian Happ, or Wilson don't do something, more often than not, the Cubs are not scoring a lot of runs that day, except for, Wisdom and Schwindel have been hot of late, which is nice, which is great. If they can get that on a consistent basis to go with those 3 guys, then the lineup, you're like, this isn't as bad as it was during that 3-14 stretch, but like, we just haven't seen, like, with the large sample size that we just haven't seen enough consistency of all those guys I just named playing well together. And so that's why this team is 18-25 and probably going to sell the deadline. And I'm going to get roasted by Sox fans because they're going to think that I said that I'd rather have Nico than Tim Anderson.
We'll have to go back to defend you to play it, because I know you didn't actually say that. To make matters worse, first of all, the longest winning streak in the National League is over.
Yeah.
Sox fans think Cody believes that Nico is better than Tim Anderson, and also Cody lost all of his bets tonight.
Yeah, it's just been a brutal night, and I blame it mainly because I didn't wear Jordans today. But, it is what it is.
Shoes.
We will, we'll try and get back in the W column tomorrow. Not only the Cubs, but in my bank account. But I made all my bets on PointsBet tonight, guys. And the best way to support CHGO is if you download the PointsBet app and use code CHGO when you sign up. If you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content. And you'll even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker. If you have any questions, email pointsbet@allchgo.com and we'll help you. Remember that PointsBet is your home for live in-game betting. They have a new exclusive feature, live NBA same-game parlay. For the first time ever, build the perfect live same-game parlay only with PointsBet. Combine your favorite bets anytime during the game. You can even boost your live same-game parlays. And if you don't know by now, online sign-up is available in Illinois. It has been for 2 months. So I don't know how much more we have to say it, but it's available. So I just take advantage, right? You can download the PointsBet app right now and register your account from start to finish, all from your phone. I say it every show. If Luke can do it, so can you. It's really that easy. Luke does his little one finger pointing and everything on his phone.
That's not true.
He figures it out.
See, that's less true than the Nico Tim Anderson story.
Oh, my goodness. Signing up with the fastest sportsbook is now easier than ever, so you can start living your bet life in seconds. Use code CHGO to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. So what are you waiting for once the game starts? Don't just bet, live your bet life with PointsBet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Want to start your day with a competitive edge? Strava CBD coffee is a game changer. It's helped thousands of people improve their overall wellness and quality of life, and it delivers delicious, fresh roasted specialty coffee infused with organic broad-spectrum CBD. CBD from hemp doesn't make you high, it doesn't make you hungry, but it does offer real benefits that can help you. You're going to feel more alert, focused, won't have the jitters, you'll live your day more balanced, less anxiety, fewer aches and pains. Plus, including CBD in your daily routine can even help you enjoy a more restful sleep when you wake up feeling your best. Your best part here, Strava is all about quality. Everything is small batch, fresh and shipped straight to your door. It also offers concentrated full-spectrum CBD for those looking for a more traditional CBD format with a traditional entourage effect of benefits. CHGO listeners, 25% off their entire purchase when you use the code CHGO25. That's 25% off your entire order at StravaCraftCoffee.com when you use the code CHGO25 at checkout. Discount coupon valid on non-subscription purchases only and one use per customer. Now, if you already love Strava, what you do is you subscribe and save with the Strava Coffee Club. Strava, you're in control. You save on the favorite coffees you have, and they're automatically delivered to your home or office on your preferred schedule. Give it a shot. Strava Craft Coffee. I haven't tried it yet, to be perfectly honest, because I'm not a coffee guy. But everybody that I've run into at the office is like, you got to do it. You got to try it. It's really good coffee. I know Kevin's getting it shipped to his house.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing the coffee club thing.
Wow.
And so I've thought about it. Coffee's not my. It's not the taste that I love, but I want all the things that I'm reading about on here. So I'm willing to adjust my palate if I like it enough. And so I am going to try it.
Yeah, I have it at my house. I've had it a few times. It's, I don't blame Kevin for getting it, shipped. And
Oh, he's not the only one. There's multiple guys here I know that are using it religiously or drinking it religiously.
Strava.
Yeah.
Strava.
Do we have any in studio? I would try it. Do we have any back
On
there?
camera?
I don't know if we have any left because it's, like I said, it's been flying out the door, but he's been taking it home.
Yeah.
I'll ask Kevin when I see him next. I want to try it. I've never had any. I want to try some.
Jack is asking me what I got against the spread for the Warriors during halftime last night. I was so mad that they were definitely not going to win that game that I just turned it off. So I did not live bet. Jack, thank you for asking.
I have an update. Would It Dong has not tweeted out if Contreras'
Right. What about Would
if
It
his
Tater?
ball would have dong.
Would it tater?
So I don't think, just based on context clues, I don't think Wilson Contreras' fly out would have donged anywhere.
That's what we do. We start a new app that goes against that, and it's called Tell Me It Tatered.
Does it tater?
But will
Tell
you
me that tatered.
But will you know how to use that app?
No, I won't, but you guys can work on it. Somebody smart could come up with that. Nick G says, Luke, haven't we seen you with massive all caps Starbucks cups?
That's
yes,
true.
But they're tea, they're never coffee.
Yeah. It took
So
me
if Strava's comes out with the CBD tea, I'm all in.
Yeah.
There you go.
I honestly, for the first month of knowing you and you were coming in with those cups, I was like, man, Luke loves his coffee. And then I think I asked you and you're like, oh, it's tea. And I was like, mind blown because I didn't think they put tea in those types of cups.
Ooh, here we go. A little bit of an
Iced
update.
tea. Oh, you mean the hot ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's green tea.
Ah, gotcha.
Got a little bit of an update from the Rowick Joey Votto stuff.
Oh, good. What do we have on this?
Chicago Tribune's Mega Montemurro just tweeted out, issue between Wick Votto stemmed from Wick seeing Votto bat flip on walk. I pointed that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wick said he told Votto, nice bat flip. Heard Votto yelling from first base, but didn't want to turn around and start anything. Wick, I feel like he kind of blew it out of the water a little more than needed to be. That she quote tweeted it saying, Wick said he's never spoken to Votto before. I don't even know if he knows we're both Canadian. Whoa, I wonder if that puts a twist in the battle for Canada.
When he was running to first, was there a hey hoser, get down to first base, and then on the way back, take off, eh?
Oh,
Right back at him.
That puts a wrinkle in the battle for Canada Hell in a Cell match on Monday. Just saying.
Wick did say just blankety blank go down to first or something like that.
Yeah.
You could just read his lips in there. I don't know if hoser
Definitely
was in
left
there,
that part out, but
And then Votto was saying, what was he saying?
he was
Like,
on.
I didn't
He said
say,
he was.
I didn't say
he was-
bleep.
So there wasn't
bleep.
something
I didn't say
before that.
bleep.
There wasn't something before that. He was literally mad about the bat flip for the walk, which is unusual, but whatever. If Joey Votto bat flips, like,
Yeah, I think it's one of those soft things. Like I don't want to be that guy, but I think that's kind of soft if you're getting upset about walking a guy and then he bat flips. And it's not even like he
he didn't throw it in the air. He chucked it,
he just
but
chucked
I've
it
seen
over
a
the
lot
first.
of
Like
guys
we've seen
chuck
a lot
the
of
bat
guys
over
do
on
that.
it.
I
I'm
mean,
just kind of
but
like
that was a pretty clear he was trying to. To me, it looked like the way he flipped it. That looked pretty. Hey, watch this shit.
Was it something?
Flipped it.
If
Either
you had
way,
asked me,
I still
was
think
it
it's kinda
something?
soft.
It was something, but was it enough to start barking at a future Hall of Famer about going down to first?
no.
I probably would have let it go.
I would have let it go.
I'm glad that the benches didn't clear over that whole thing because I didn't feel like they needed to. But
Right.
I mean, you could see Votto yelling. They kept showing the dugout, so I don't know if the dugout was yelling anything at Votto or
Yeah.
what that whole situation was.
mean,
It just felt What's that? A whole.
Let's get Rowan Wick in here. And he can
much
just
to
tell us
do
all
about
about it.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like that.
But okay, so if like
Is that the phrase they used to use back in the 1840s?
I don't know, but yes, I
I
believe
just
so.
respect
Something-
Joey Votto so much to like. I'm sorry, Rowan Wick. Like, you're a great reliever for the Cubs. You have been. The Cubs literally got you for a washing machine, and it's great. And I appreciate you being on the team. But like, Joey Votto's a future Hall of Famer, first ballot, no doubt in my eyes. And for you to get all upset just because you walked him, and then he flips the bat over to the dugout like hundreds of guys do every day. To me, it's just like there's other battles ahead. You know what I mean?
But it wasn't like it wasn't a bat flip like guys usually do. Like I'm not saying like Rowan Wick should have got upset about it. He walked him, but the bat flip that Joey did wasn't a toss to the.
And
dugout.
that's what I'm saying.
No,
Like,
but that's what you say. Like you said, like tons of other guys do. That's not a normal toss the bat over to the dugout. Like that was a pretty clear like
I
hey,
am now going to
this.
look at every walk and see
Watch
how
this.
guys throw the bat over to their dugout. For
You
like
tell
the
me
rest
guys
of the
literally
time.
just kind of flip it like how he did. He didn't just chuck it over there.
I know he didn't just chuck it over there. I
No.
do realize that he like
It was
put a little extra sauce
Yeah, he
on
did.
it.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
there
saying.
was
Put a little
extra
extra
sauce.
sauce
It
on
was-
the nugget as it was flying over towards the dugout.
But again, it was not. It was a whole much ado about nothing.
I will
I'm
say
gonna start
this.
using that phrase.
I just thought of something though. I am now convinced in my mind, while I don't think Wick necessarily needed to bark at a future Hall of Famer over a bat flip that was a little more
you
than
go.
it needed to be.
Do we got it? Oh wait.
We can show it, but like
finish your thought.
I am more and more convinced that Strickland threw at wisdom, which is what got Ross going because of what we were just talking about.
Right.
Strickland's the hothead. He doesn't care where it is in the game. He knows he's on a losing team, and you are not going to bark at our future Hall of Famer, our team leader.
Yeah.
It was the guy he barked at that set off Strickland, in my opinion,
sure.
to
That's-
plunking wisdom on the arm. It was not an error that he hit him in the arm.
Yeah.
That was you never touch our captain with your mouth like that. You're not going to bark
Yeah.
at our guy going down to first base over a bat
That's
flip.
a good point. I mean,
and that's why
and I'm
Ross
with you
came
there.
out and was like, "That's great, but he could have just broke our guy's arm."
Right. And that's where I do agree. I do like, again, everything that I said about Wick, I
All right, I'm seeing the video.
agree. But
Bat flip's not
Yeah,
a lot.
okay. It's maybe it's less than I thought.
It's
it was.
got a
weird.
little risk to it, but
That's
it's
weird.
not.
Maybe that is the counts as he did his usual walk bat flip. Maybe I on first like glance, I haven't watched the replay since we first saw it.
Looks
Maybe
like
maybe it was a little more the first impression than what it looks like here. It doesn't
looks
look
like a frustration thing from Wick. You know, he's trying to earn innings. It's a strong bullpen. He's trying to earn his spot, a walk, a 4-0 walk. That's what that strikes me as. He's just
but
frustrated.
it's not. It is not the guy to bark at.
Well,
going
if we want
first.
to put this on.
By the
real
way,
quick.
Joey Votto's
can't
batting
blame
like
him for it.
144 and has his own frustration. He just did a home run
yeah.
that probably felt pretty good to him, but he's obviously not having the season he wants to have. So
Yeah.
maybe that's where
There's
a little bit of
definitely-
the extra bat flip comes from too.
Definitely
I don't
faults
know.
on both sides in this, no doubt. Like, yeah, Strickland shouldn't have hit wisdom just because freaking Wick decided to say whatever he said to Votto. No doubt. Like, that's like, especially when you're up only 2 runs going into the 9th inning. Like, that's about as the dumbest thing you could possibly do.
I wonder what David Bell was like. Did he just hit him?
Yeah, probably.
But again,
Who
like,
told him to
It's
do
probably a
that?
conversation because nothing good really could have come of that. Like it
All
only
it
it
took was
escalated to the
freaking-
point that it did. You could have injured another player, and Patrick Wisdom could have walked down to first and punched Joey Votto right in the face over the thing. Like
yeah.
Wisdom's the one that really should have been mad about the whole thing, and I do appreciate David Ross running out there clearly with a purpose, knowing he was going to get thrown out.
For sure.
Probably wanting to get thrown
Makes
out.
a lot more sense that he did that now than anything, because then the moment
I
I,
think
really
that's what
didn't
happened.
get it either, because I just had no idea what was going on, and so yeah, like what Rossi did was like that's one of the reasons they hired him, right? The big raw guy, you know, and the Cubs were a few inches away from making Hunter Strickland look like an absolute clown, even though he already does look like an absolute clown. So. Congratulations, Hunter Strickland.
A little more from Patrick Mooney on Wick.
Okay.
Rowan from Patrick Mooney, the Athletic. Rowan Wick on his dispute with Joey Votto. All I said was nice bat flip. I understand he's been in the league a long time. He can do whatever he wants when he walks. On my side, I was not happy at all with the pitches that I threw, so I let the emotions get the best of me. So,
He admits he was
Exactly,
probably
yeah.
wrong.
yeah, there you go. Which I have not said that.
I respect that.
I
Hey,
don't
that's
think it was.
fine.
I don't think it was something to get all upset. Like there was no reason to have any sort of like.
So the fault in
big
all of
issue
this is Hunter Strickland in my eyes at this point.
He's the one that took it
guess.
to the next level over someone yelling at his guy. Like,
I just can't.
It's
like,
so wild to me.
I just can't let myself believe that in that's it. You're only up
it was on
two.
purpose.
Like you can't. It's such a
He's
tough.
a meathead.
It's just.
Let
Bush
me
League.
change the names for you. Let me change the names for you and pretend that was Kyle Farnsworth on the hill for the Reds. Would you think, yeah, man, I wonder if he threw at him? Absolutely, he threw at him, right? Like, it's the same type of guy. Like, he plunked him. I don't remember who put it in the chat. It was like, slow-mo showed no movement, went straight at him. It was the only pitch he had that he threw that wasn't going where he wanted to go. Somehow that went exactly where he did want it to go.
Right.
He probably was trying, maybe it didn't go exactly. I'm hoping he was trying to at least throw at the guy's butt instead of his wrist, but he hit him on the wrist. And so that is why David Ross was not happy.
Yeah. And rightfully so. So I'm glad we got that stuff while we're doing the podcast.
There we go.
That
all we
settles
need.
it a little bit.
Nick, I think Nick G's asking thoughts on the rumors that Killian may get a call for the doubleheaders coming up. That's not a rumor. That's like speculation. It's
a theory.
It's a theory, and it's
we've thrown out that theory.
which we've talked about. But
Talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, we talked about it
Check
yesterday, but we also like talked to Jed about it on Thursday, and he said I'm not going to speculate on that. And I don't know that there's been any.
He set up. He pitched today, so he could potentially pitch on Monday.
Yeah,
It makes sense that this would be the time to try it. It
it
really
would.
does.
Like I said, it's with Aaron Ashby last year with the Brewers, like he came up, gave up 7 runs in 2/3 of an inning, and then went back down to AAA for a month. Like that's a spot that Caleb Killian comes up. You see where he's at. Potentially could pitch the doubleheader on Saturday against the Cardinals too, and then goes back down to the minor leagues and kind of works on things that you see. Hey, you need to work on this stuff, but. I'm not saying it's like an expectation or a rumor or anything like that. There's no like, I didn't see like a report or anything that's a thing. It's just like we're talking to Jed about it. He's not giving us anything, but it's still like a place like, hey, like this wouldn't be a bad spot for Caleb Killian to come up.
Well, if it's not, here's the deal. This is why it's likely to happen. Who are the other options? Who else are you calling up? Is it a name we're not thinking of? Like, I would say it was Alec Mills. Well, now we know it's not Alec Mills, right? So it's not Alec Mills isn't ready to go. So who else is is it gonna be Leiter again? You assume Keegan Thompson out of like 4 doubleheader games. Keegan Thompson probably throws in there somewhere.
Probably,
I'd rather see Keegan Thompson than
literally
than
who
Mark
else
Leiter
at that
Jr.
level is someone you're looking at right now. You're like, well, if it's not Killian, and I don't have another name, so I don't know why it wouldn't.
They
be
have
Killian.
Cam Sanders hasn't got enough starts in AAA for me to even consider him yet either.
It could honestly be a Mark Leiter.
Yeah,
It
it
really,
probably
really
will
could.
be if it's
Right,
not.
that's a possibility.
If
but
it's
I don't
not
know.
Keegan Thompson,
Right, so you're 50-50 on it.
I was gonna say Michael Rucker. I don't think he's
I will-
a starter. Norris
Killian-
has started in the past.
Killian
And he said
pitched
turf
today.
toe, which apparently is getting better.
Rucker, yeah. Norris has been a starter in the past. Like I don't know that he's built up to pitch
Definitely not.
4 or 5 innings, but he has started a couple. He started a game or two this season. I mean, he has been. He was a starter with the Tigers at one point. I mean, that's an option at least to eat some innings at the beginning of the game. I don't know, but again, when we're looking, like you said, we're throwing names out of there, and we're like, it kind of feels like Caleb Killian and getting a look at him is the best option, best course of action.
I wanted to tell you guys his box score line tonight or to this afternoon.
Oh yeah, what was? I know he was doing well.
5 innings, 6 hits, 1 strikeout, 2 walks, 4 earned. So
So he gave up some runs in the end, but early on he was as you say, shoving.
Yeah. Probably his worst start in Iowa in a while, but his ERA is still at 2.06. Had been below 2 for a long while. So this is like as far as giving up runs. And the strikeouts weren't there today. It's just 1 start, though. He'd really been pitching very well in Iowa. And also, I don't know how the game went. Like, maybe he came out and then someone else gave up those runs. You know what I mean? Like,
it still would be the highlight of your
72
season.
pitches, 45 strikes.
It would be the highlight of your season, would it not, if he comes up and throws?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack R. said Brendan would love Norris starting. If Norris started and Nico Hoerner was playing shortstop, like Brendan might faint.
Yeah.
He might actually like faint of like just pure joy.
Ugh.
By the way, who's your PointsBet pick of the week? You got a pick of the week for us? Something we should be rolling with? Like, how about an NBA call?
I think you got to take Golden State tomorrow. I think Golden State plays tomorrow.
Money line?
Do you have
Money line? Yeah.
They're probably a heavy favorite though. You might want to look at.
Or they're probably the spread.
Because they're in Golden State tomorrow, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're probably a decently heavy money line favorite.
Yeah.
Probably like the spread.
I'm not particularly sure yet. I would say that I would lean Golden State to at least win tomorrow.
Look how quick he's looking that up on PointsBet.
Yeah,
so
I just brought it up, man. That's what I do.
Cody can do it. Anybody can do it.
Yeah. What about the Cubs tomorrow?
Well, I was just gonna say you don't ever wager on the NHL, do you?
No, I don't like.
You don't
betting
even
on
touch
hockey.
it.
No.
What are the odds?
I'm not the biggest hockey fan at all, really. To be honest, sorry, Greg, Jay, and Mario. I'm just not a hockey guy.
You know what I just realized? That at that game, Dempster was there. There were 3 Canadians.
And right there.
Dem probably needs to go to. Maybe that's why it all got sorted out. Dem probably went down and like, listen, as Canadians, we need to pull together.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get
was it Hortons or Mortons?
Yeah, well, let's
Tim
go
Hortons.
to Tim Hortons.
Yeah, Tim
Hortons,
Hortons. My bad.
We'll get our toques, and we'll all be better tomorrow
have
morning.
some. What's the poutine? That's a Canadian thing,
Yep.
right?
Never heard of it.
I like Cubs are right now. They are currently slated as a favorite tomorrow against the Reds. I think the Cubs can take 3 out of 4. I like the Cubs tomorrow.
What's the line again?
Minus 120.
Okay.
I'm on
That's
the
not
money
bad.
line.
You're on money line.
Justin Steele against Hunter Green.
Right.
Ooh.
That's what I was going to get to. That's our next
That's
thing.
gonna be
Is
a
the
fun
matchup
one.
is Justin Steele, who in his last 11 innings, 1 run, 19 strikeouts. Of course, it was all against the Diamondbacks.
All against the Diamondbacks.
So, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer if he's pitching against the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Now we just want him to continue that. And I know Brendan did like an entire podcast just, oozing excitement over the fact that like he's adding pitches.
Mm-hmm.
He's, Keegan's adding pitches. And now you're starting to see that Steele's adding pitches to his repertoire. And he could be a 5-pitch guy. And like he gets so excited about that stuff. All I know is Justin Steele's looked pretty good those last 2 games. Could you say some of it is against the Diamondbacks? Yeah, but you know what? They also had a chance to see him, and they're still major leaguers. So the second time around, he did some things differently, which was kind of cool, and it worked. So I'm gonna put it at value. He's had 2 great games. I don't care what team it was against. I think he's gonna be good again tomorrow. If you were looking for a pick of the week, I like Steele tomorrow.
Steele strikeouts. I don't want to know what the line is, but I bet it's at least after his last 2 outings. 10 strikeouts, then 9. I bet his.
What if it's 6?
I would say if it's 5.5 or 6.
I'm pounding the over, Cody.
Pound the over.
Smash the over.
Yeah, I'm smashing the over.
Yeah. And
Hammer the
as
over.
far as, the game and stuff, this is the Cubs. I feel like the Cubs are going into tomorrow's game with a lot of confidence despite the loss. Like you had the fake rally in the 9th, but you get this like added motivation thanks to Hunter Strickland, in my opinion. Like, and Justin Steele's pitched well his last 2 outings. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, we lost tonight and it was stupid, but I just wish we could play the Reds every day. But
boy, you have to win that game tomorrow.
you got to win tomorrow.
You can't split against the Reds.
Right.
No, I don't. It's not.
Also would like a win going into an off day before we go and get our butts kicked by the White Sox.
Hey.
Are you going to any of those games? Either of you?
No, I'm gonna be here.
No, I'm
because
I'm
a
here
man
with
of the,
Cody
I'm a man
because
of the people.
Somebody's got to protect Cody after the Tim Anderson comment that was taken out of context.
They're gonna take me out on the balcony and throw me off.
The Sox fans are gonna
all
break
crazy.
in.
That's gonna be all blown out of
Sean
proportion.
and Herb are gonna like just hang you
if
over.
Sean is here.
I just want to say that the entire reason that I even started doing the comparison is because both guys make great contact. That's all I was saying. That's all I was really trying to say. But can we argue that at least that overall, I would say Hoerner's defense has been better than Anderson's this year? I know Anderson's had some defensive issues.
He's had a lot of defensive
100%
issues.
agree with you there.
I think I got that at least.
Even Steven,
you're
okay. All right.
Steven just said that Nico is better than Tim Anderson. Sox fan Steven just said that.
Wow,
We'll put his Twitter account down here for Sox fans on the next postgame show. In fact, it wasn't just that's true. It was a thumbs up.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought thumbs up too.
Yeah.
Steven, turning over to a different
Turning
side.
Turned on his team.
Wow.
How quickly that
How the
happens.
turntables.
How the
Yeah.
turntable. I saw someone else make a Office reference in here somewhere. I'll find it. You go ahead. Wait, we never talked who you got.
All right, let's do it real quick before we go. Who you got? I assume Cody won. Like he's up.
Did he though?
He's
That's
up
not the right
3-2-2
one.
now, right?
That is not the right one.
That's not the right
That's from
one.
yesterday.
That's from yesterday.
He's up 3-2-2.
Unreal. Nobody gave me the new one.
Who the hell is
Alright,
this
who'd you have?
producer?
We don't need a graphic for it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Who'd you guys have?
I had
I had
Happ.
Schwindel. He was over.
Yeah, I had Happ. He's the reason they scored 2 runs.
Right.
2 of the
Okay.
3 runs.
I had Suzuki. He was 1 for 3. Had a walk. Also scored one of those 2 runs, 3 runs. You had Schwindel.
Yeah, I had Schwindel. I didn't win. I finished third today, and I was going to take Wisdom. That wouldn't have been that much better. He got plunked.
Yep.
Cody won. He's up 3-2-2,
I don't know.
correct?
Wait.
'Cause you needed- you
hold
needed to-
on. Hold on. Isn't the producer the one that decides this? Kevin, who won?
I don't know. Am I the one who decides?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Happ drove in there two.
Yeah, Happ
two of
had
their
2
three
RBIs
runs.
today, so he's got to be the
But he was
winner.
1 for 4 with a strikeout.
All right, what was Seiya's numbers again?
1 for 3 with a run and a walk.
This
We're
isn't
really
even close.
we're really arguing over this. Okay.
No, I'm giving it to Happ.
The
Thank
podcast
you.
is clicking off all over the. All
I
over
lead
the country right now.
4-2-2
He's
now.
dumb.
I lead 4-2-2 now.
4-2-2. I thought it was 3-2-2.
That was yesterday. After I won yesterday.
And I can't keep my days
I
straight.
like that
anymore.
idea though that the producer decides. I didn't know that before. It's a new
I
rule.
think so.
I'm in
I
for
think
that.
that's
It
good.
really is a new rule according to tonight.
I'm in
'Cause,
for
we
that.
never did
No,
that
we
before.
asked Steven the other day.
I'm gonna give
do
one
it.
last-
Did we
Before-
not?
before
And
we
Steven's
go-
Did
shaking
we?
his head. He's nodding his head yes.
All right.
We asked him
fine.
the other day. I forgot what day it was, and he
All
probably.
right.
I'm pretty sure he gave you the win too. So
I'm
you're out
just
here.
gonna
Because
suggest-
I've been picking the right guys.
It's 4-2-2, but we're gonna knock you down to 2-2-2 because you said Nico is better than Tim Anderson.
Yeah, that's
And then Steven agreed with it.
Oh my God.
Thanks for dropping in to check out the CHGO Cubs postgame show podcast. Cubs lose 4-3 to the Reds. They will try to take the series on Thursday. What day is it?
Today's Wednesday, so
Yeah,
tomorrow's
Thursday, on Thursday.
Oof.
Series
Will
finale.
be, well,
I actually
it'll
thought
be,
today was
This
Corey
series
and-
is taking it out of me.
Be Corey and Brendan tomorrow? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be yes.
Corey and Brendan, right?
Corey and Brendan. So
Be
tune
a
into those
Cubs
guys.
related
They'll be
show.
live right here
Brendan
on YouTube.
will wax poetic about whatever happens with
Justin
Mr.
Steele.
Steele.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he'll probably talk Daniel Norris a lot just because of today. I saw him tweet about it, so I'm sure he's ready.
Enjoy the series finale. We will see you for Friday's show as we get ready for the Crosstown round 2. And Steven now jumping sides to the north side. Thanks for listening. Fly the W.